In this video, we'll be talking about IP addressing. So there's IP version 4 and IP version 6. Both have public and private IP addresses. We'll only be talking about IP version 4 because it's everywhere, even though we're running out of it. And that's why IP version 6 comes into the picture. So IP version 4 has 5 classical networks, A, B, C, D, and E. Now, before we start reading this number, you have to know that IP version 4 has 32 bits, 4 octets. If the first octet is any number between 1 to 126, you have a classical A network. If this first octet has a number that falls between 128 to 191, then you know you have a classical B, so on and so forth. Now let's talk about how many network bit and host bit each network has. So for class A, the network bit is 8. This one is 24. These two add up needs to be 32. Default mask is /8. And this, for class B, network bit is 16, host is 16 /16. This is 24 for class C. The host bit is going to be 8, and this is going to be 24. Now, I've always said that the best way to understanding something is to do a question, problem solving. So here's a question. We're given this IP address. I want to know which class, find the network bits, host bits, first network ID, first usable IP, last usable IP, and also find the network broadcast address. Assuming there's no subnet, and this is a classical IP address. So we will first look at the first octet, 192. 192 falls between 192 through 223 for the class C. So this is going to be a class C network. And find the network bits. The network bit is going to be 24. Host bit is going to be 8. Now let's solve this question right here. Find the first network ID. So 192.192.1.1 /24, because that's a default mask. Now, I just know, /24, so here is 8 bits, 8 bits, 8 bits, and 8 bits. /24, so I'm going to draw a line here. Now, I'm going to make everything, in fact, I'm going to put it in binary for you. So 1, 1, E, So let's count 24. 8, 8, 8. I'm going to draw a line here. Everything here is network bit. So we can't touch it. That's a fixed number. Everything to the right is host bit. So let's make everything to the right equals 0. And we can find the first network ID. So in this case, 192.192.1, and make everything 0, right? So .0. That's your first network ID. And your first usable IP is going to be 1. .1.1. Now, let's find, before we find the last usable IP, let's find the network broadcast address. Now, the network broadcast address is when you make all the numbers here equals 1. So that's going to be 225. So 192.192.1.225, that's the broadcast address. So the last usable IP is this subtract 1. So it's going to be 192.192.1.254. There you go. That's how you find this information from this IP address. Next. Now we're going to talk about classless IP addressing. What does that mean? It means when the network portion, the network bits portion, doesn't follow the classical rule. Now let's do a problem, so I can better. So what is classless? So what is classless IP addressing? It means when the network bit portion doesn't follow the classical rule. That's still a problem, so we can better understand it. So question 2. A company needs only 6 IP addresses from this classical network. What can we do? We just need 6. And from the previous example, we learned that this classical network right here, the first usable IP address is going to be .1.1. The last one is .1.254. In total, it gives us 254 available IP addresses. We don't need that many. We only need 6. So let's find out how many host bits we need first in order to get 6 IP addresses. And here's a formula. 2 to the x power minus 2 equals 6. So I can just figure out that x equals 3. So I need 3 host bits. Okay? Now let's erase this. So I need 3 host bits, which means my mass is going to be 29. So 32 minus 3. So now let's take a look to see if this is what we need. Okay? So I'm going to put in binary. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now let's count 29 because the mass is 29. So 8, 16, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Let's draw a line here. Now, to find the subnet ID, I will make everything over there 0. So to the right of this line. So 192.192.1.0 is the subnet ID. The first usable address is going to be adding a 1 here. So 192.192.1.1 is the first usable. Now let's find the broadcast. In order to find broadcast, I need to make everything here 1. So 1 plus 2 plus 4, this is going to be 7. 192.192.1.7, that's the broadcast. Okay, the last usable is going to be the broadcast minus 1. So 192.192.1.6. Now let's count. First usable is 1, last usable is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 6 available IP addresses. And that's classless IP addressing for you. To finish IP addressing off, I want to talk about private IP version 4 addresses. So for class A, it ranges from 10.0.0.0 to 10.255.255.255. And this is 172.16.0.0 to 172.31.255.255. And this is 192.168.0.0 through 192.168.255.255. So if you see any IP addresses that falls within this ranges, it's private. They're not routable in the internet world. They can only be used within. Thank you very much.